Today we're playing the new DREADHORDE ARCANIST, Bilbo, Thief in the Night, in Legacy Tempo Doomsday. You heard me right, today we're attacking. In front of you is Legacy Tempo Doomsday, and I say tempo because in the post-board games, we're converting into an actual tempo deck with Daze, Force of Will, and then creature threats like Borrowglyph, Dothy, Voidwalker, backed by removal like Fatal Push and Snuff Out. This is all made possible because of the new card from the Hobbit, Bilbo, Thief in the Night, a blue DREADHORDE Arcanist. So for 2 mana total, you have a legendary halfling rogue. It's a 2/2. Spells you cast from zones that aren't your hand cost 1 less to cast. And then whenever Bilbo attacks, you can cast an instant sorcery or artifact spell from your graveyard. And then if it's an instant or sorcery card, you exile that card. So Bilbo, Thief in the Night allows you to replay Lotus Petal infinitely, and by infinitely I mean once per turn, or you can cast something like Flow State from the graveyard for a single blue mana. 3 of the most powerful blue cards in Legacy right now are Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, Bilbo, Thief in the Night, and Flow State. We're actually playing all of them today in this deck list. So this is a really powerful strategy, and I say that not only because the Bilbo, Thief in the Night plus Tempo package, but because we also contain Dark Ritual into Doomsday. That is something this deck has in its back pocket whenever you want to turn on the combo door. So it makes for a really, really dangerous Legacy deck, which is why we're playing it today. If you have any thoughts or questions about this deck, make sure to put those in the comment section down below. And, I just want to hop on in and play some Magic, so I'll see you in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1 with Bilbo Tempo Doomsday. We're on the play versus someone who traditionally really likes Cloud Post decks. Here we have turn 1 Tamiyo Inquisitive Student into Bilbo into Flow State. This hand is broken. Keep. We'll play Underground Sea and Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Pass the turn. They play Urza's Tower into Giant's Boulder. So it looks like they're on the blue post deck today. I mean, you could play green with this, but this looks more like the blue one. They put 2 cards on top of Lotus Petal. Well, that doesn't see play in blue post. Force of Will, a very good draw here. We'll begin by attacking with the Tamiyo. Trigger. We investigate, which means create a clue. And now we'll play Bilbo, Thief in the Night. I thought we were Doomsday. This just looks like Delver. They have Planar Nexus, Karn Silex. It would stop Force of Will, so I think I'm going to just counter it here. Exile a Flow State. We'll draw, it's a Lotus Petal. Let's play Ponder. I think we want all of these. Take the Polluted Delta. Play Lotus Petal. And now I can Flow State for 2, which gives me the Doomsday. And then I'll take the Ponder. We can fetch. Grab another Underground Sea. We'll go to combat. Attack. Bilbo triggers. We'll target Flow State. Pay 1, casting Flow State for 1 mana. This is so good. We'll take the Verdant Catacombs, and we get to investigate. There's no way this should be legal. I haven't even used Tamiyo yet. It's like, how crazy is that? Like, double Flow State, Bilbo. Like, Tamiyo's the weak card here. We just let them have stock up. I don't think I actually care about that. Another Urza's Tower. Karn the Great Creator. Do I even care about Karn? Think I do. Will Force of Will. Brainstorm. So I'll play my Verdant Catacombs. I think I want to replay the Lotus Petal here. And then, is there a Brainstorm pile that wins? I don't think there is. Actually, there is a Brainstorm pile that wins. Hold on. So I attack, I replay Lotus Petal. We build a Consider pile. I Brainstorm into Consider. I think we have a win here. I think I need to fetch to start. We'll grab the 4th Underground Sea. And now we'll go to combat. Swing. We create another clue. Bilbo. Lotus Petal. They'll take 2. Black. 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 Doomsday. So I think it doesn't matter what the bottom two are, but we want Unearth, we want Thassa's Oracle, we need Consider, and I think I might need another Lotus Petal. I need to think about this for a moment. So I brainstorm into Consider Mill. I'm a mana short, so I shouldn't actually build this pile. I wonder if instead I'm supposed to like brainstorm into Thoughtseize and pass. Maybe get rid of the Consider. I'm a mana short of the Consider pile working, unfortunately, or a card in hand. Either would have worked. A card in hand or another mana. So we have Oracle, Thoughtseize, Unearth. I don't actually need Consider. Maybe another Thoughtseize for good measure. And we'll put a Force of Will on the bottom to scare them. Actually, what if I put another blue card in here? Let's put another Force of Will. Alright, so we'll put the pair of forces on the bottom. And then the top three don't really matter all that much. We'll play Brainstorm. We'll put Oracle on top. This will transform the Tamiyo. Plus Tamiyo. Cast Thoughtseize. You can keep your card in Silex. I'll take the stock up. Pass the turn. They play Lotus Petal, Ancient Tomb, and Karn the Great Creator. Okay. Mycos and Thalatis. Wow, they ripped. I cannot win the game, I don't think. So we can attack the Karn the Great Creator. This triggers. I can replay Lotus Petal, but I can't do anything. They just ripped Karn. And I couldn't have built a Force of Will pile instead of Thoughtseize because I only had one card in hand. Yeah, they got me. Unfortunate. We'll bring in Consign to Memory, Force of Negation, get rid of the artifacts versus the Karn the Great Creator deck. So the question is, do I want to be Doomsday or do I want to be Tempo? The Tron deck is supposed to be very good against Tempo decks, so I don't think I want to board into losing against it. This seems crazy. I think I'm going to shave one Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Let's try this. On the play. Wow. Keep. We'll begin with an Undercity Sewer, Surveil. Keep the Flow State. Pass. Versus Tower. They have 7 cards. We'll play Thoughtseize. And they just have Tower plus Nexus. And their hand is honestly insane. And I think we take Bloodknot Seer, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. We want Thassa's Oracle. I need more blue mana, so we should definitely put that in. I think I need the Cavern of Souls. Maybe we'll put a Thoughtseize in there. What if I just build a Consider pile? Would that be better? It gets through my pile quicker. They don't have any blue cards in hand, but they're holding Dismember plus double Kozilek's Command, which is an issue. I think we're supposed to build a slower pile here. What if I take away Consider? What if I do like Fetch Land Underground Sea? I think I like this. So it doesn't really matter because I'm going to put the Fetch Land on top. Pass the turn. They have a Planner Nexus, Lotus Petal. Play the Polluted Delta, we'll fetch. Grab the Underground Sea. Play Flow State. Take Thoughtseize. I think I'm going to put... This is a tough call. Do I put Thoughtseize on the bottom or Oracle on the bottom? Oracle on the bottom gives me a chance to win if they're foolish enough to tap out. So I think I'll put Oracle on top. And then we'll cast another Thoughtseize. They're going to make me draw a card. I think that's fine. And then we'll Force of Will the second one here. Thoughtseize. I don't care about Dismember. So we'll take the Karn. Pass the turn. Also, I think I stacked the Flow State wrong. But it ended up being okay here. Giant's Boulder. We will Thoughtseize. Take the Dismember. And Thassa's Oracle. Boom. I feel like I played that one relatively well. Although I am wondering now if I want a Jace Wielder of Mysteries in my deck. Although Jace without Lion's Eye Diamond seems really sketchy, so probably not. I'm going to just resubmit. Very good hand. We will keep. They have a Lotus Petal, which seems like a weird inclusion in this deck, by the way. Most of the blue Tron decks are not playing Lotus Petal. And they have a Karakas. That's particularly good against my hand. Second Dark Ritual is a terrible draw. We'll play Thoughtseize. Mindbreak Trap, Dismember Karn. We'll take Karn the Great Piece of Trash. Pass. Versus Tower. I could use a draw, like a Brainstorm, in order to fix this hand up. We'll see if they burn the Dismember on the Tamiyo or if they just want to use their Karakas. They just use the Karakas. They play Ancient Tomb. The One Ring. I will Force of Will, exile Tamiyo. We'll fetch. Grab Undercity Sewers. I think I keep the Flow State. It's turned on here. I have Thoughtseize and Force of Will in the graveyard. We'll play Flow State. I think I want Brainstorm and Ponder. Pass. Because next turn I can Brainstorm, put the 2 Dark Rituals back, and then potentially, if I don't hit a fetch land, use Ponder to shuffle them away. They can now hardcast Mindbreak Trap. We hit the fetch land. I'll pass the turn here. There's this tower. They have all the mana in the world over there. We'll play Brainstorm. Put back Dark Ritual, Dark Ritual. We'll fetch. Grab an Underground Sea. 3 cards in their hand. I'll play Underground Sea, and then let's just tap 3 lands for Doomsday. They hardcast the Mindbreak Trap. I will Force of Will, exile Bilbo, Thief in the Night. Doomsday. We need the Thassa's Oracle. Put an Underground Sea in there. Consider... I guess like the Consider Palace opened me up to losing to Kozilek's Command, which I don't really want to do. Maybe we'll add in a Thoughtseize. What about a Brainstorm? What does that look like? And then I get 1 more card. Maybe like a Street Wraith. This makes sense to me. So the land will go on the bottom. And then Thassa's Oracle, Thoughtseize, Brainstorm, Street Wraith. And we'll pass with Force back up in case they draw something good here. I'm going to just force this. So they have Dismember and 1 Unknown. So they only have Dismember in hand. They shouldn't have played the Power Plant. We'll cycle the Street Wraith. Brainstorm will draw the rest of the deck. Put back Underground Sea. How do I want to do this? Underground Sea and Scalding Tarn. Play Thoughtseize, take the Dismember. And now we play Thassa's Oracle. We did it. We beat Blue Tron. A combo killer. But this Doomsday deck has Flow State, it has Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, it has Bilbo, plus a combo win. So even though we didn't board into the Tempo game plan, our threats, you know, our opponent had to board in Caracas against us. They had to respect our combo win while keeping in Dismembers. We had a lot going on for us, and it's just tough to control. And because of that, we're now 1-0. Stick around for match number 2.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 Dark Rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in 1 envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just 1.
Welcome back for the second match. We are on the play with Tempo Doomsday. They reveal a Yorian Sky Nomad. We've opened up an unplayable hand. We'll mulligan. Think we keep this? Bottom the Undercity Sewers. Fetch for Island. Play Tamiyo. I think that's the game plan here. Opponent with a mulligan to 5. I have to imagine they're playing Death and Taxes, but I've been wrong before. It could be like Domain Mean Stock Control with a Yorian. Who knows? We'll fetch. Grab our Island. Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Pass the turn. Basic Plains into Aether Vial. Brainstorm? Let's see it. Brainstorm? Nope, Underground Sea. Alright, we will fetch for our basic Swamp here. Attack with Tamiyo. Trigger. And I think I'll just pass and draw off the clue token on the end step. They play Marsh Flats, they fetch. I'll draw now in case of Orcish Bowmasters. Bilbo, Thief in the Night. 2 mana. Overlord of the Baelmerk. Sure. Did not hit any creatures. You'll love to see it. We draw into Daze. We'll attack with the Tamiyo. Play Bilbo, Thief in the Night. Tough call here on whether or not I play out the Underground Sea into a Wasteland. Because then next turn it would shut me off of Flow State, Flashback Flow State. I think I'll pass. They play a Flooded Strand, and now they fetch. Skyclave Apparition, I will Daze. Pick up the island, and now I'm shut off it anyway, so I'm punished for not playing out the Underground Sea. They have a Solitude. Exiles Witch Enchanter, and they're going to exile my Bilbo, so I guess it all worked out in the end. Overlord goes down to 3. They have no cards in hand. I'll play the island. We'll swing. Another clue. And then I'm going to use the clue now in case they draw Orcish Bowmasters. Force of Will, a good draw. Another Aether Vial, that's fine. Draw another Tamiyo. I think I'll play Undercity Sewers here because it means next turn I can actually cast Doomsday. We'll put Thassa's Oracle to the graveyard. Swing. And once again, just use the clue now to avoid Orcish Bowmasters. Pass the turn. And I should have a win next turn. They draw a card. Recruiter of the Guard, I will Force of Will. Exile, Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. And this should be a pretty easy win here. Another Doomsday. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. Cast Doomsday. And the opponent concedes. Nice. Once again, I ask myself, is this a matchup where I want to board into Tempo? I don't think it is. So I think here we want the Jace Wielder of Mysteries. We want Fatal Push. We likely want the Snuff Out. Probably don't need 2 Lotus Petals. And honestly, the legends here don't seem very good to me. It just seems difficult to pull off versus Death and Taxes, but I could be wrong. Like, there are 4 Caracas deck. They have Swords to Plowshares. We saw Solitude. So what if I board out like a couple copies of Tamiyo, 1 Bilbo? We probably don't need the Cavern of Souls. Try this. Well, this is a hand of legal Magic the Gathering cards. I'm going to mulligan. This is also technically a hand of Magic the Gathering cards. We'll go to 5. Much better. Keep. Get rid of the Unearth and the basic Swamp. So double Wasteland would bury me, and I get that. But the reason I'm keeping double Underground Sea is that if I do get Wastelanded, I still have access to both colors. I think I'll Brainstorm now in case I hit Force of Will and then need to counter something on their turn. But I didn't. We'll put back Edge of Autumn and Doomsday. They have Prismatic Vista for basic Swamp. They play their own Thoughtseize, which is why I hid Doomsday on top, by the way. They take my Tamiyo, cast the Thoughtseize. They have another Thoughtseize, you dirty, dirty person. We'll take Thoughtseize. Pass. And they're going to hold open Orcish Bowmasters here. Land number 3. Doomsday. So I think we can just build a pretty standard Cycler pile here. So I already have the Edge of Autumn in hand. I'm trying to think of like how I lose this and if I can do anything to play around it. I think we should probably put Jace on the bottom, fetch land, and then maybe another land. So Underground Sea on the bottom, Jace, Polluted Delta, Oracle, Street Wraith. Pass the turn. They flash in Felia. Okay. Now the Bowmasters. So they tapped out. So I lose if I cycle now and then they have a Wasteland. So I'm going to allow this to happen and then they can just have their triggers. Okay, well I don't have to worry about Wasteland now. So this seems like a great time to cycle because the Bowmasters can't punish me. And now I'll take, you know, a little bit of damage. Bowmasters will come back. And then the Oracle should kill them. Passes Oracle. Boom. We did it. We are now 2-0.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
What exactly are lands and why would I open hand them in any of my hands? We will mulligan. This is good. So we'll bottom Lotus Petal and then we have, you know, Tamiyo Brainstorm plus Force of Will. Seems like an average hand of Magic the Gathering. Looks like Energy. Ocelot Pride. Sure. Another Brainstorm will fetch. Basic Island. Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Pass the turn. They Swords to Plowshares. I will Force of Will, exile Brainstorm. Static Prison. No! Double removal. Brutal. My life in shambles. Okay. Bilbo is a very good draw. We'll grab our basic Swamp and Bilbo Thief in the Night. Pass the turn. Their Static Prison loses a counter. They play an Elegant Parlor and a Voice of Victory. What to do here? I think I'll Brainstorm. Ugh, that could have been better. Get rid of Force of Will, Lotus, no, Force of Will and Brainstorm. I need to clear the top of the deck here. So I'm just going to Flow State now. We'll take the Brainstorm back. Pass. No point attacking into Voice of Victory plus Ocelot Pride. So this is their last energy off the Static Prison. If they don't find a Guide of Souls this turn, I get back to Tamiyo. The Queen of Dale. So whenever I cast a non-creature spell, they recruit. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what recruit does. So you can draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, you create a 1/1 token. We'll block and take 2. So I'll be getting back Tamiyo. They get his pass here. So Tamio is going to come home. Good riddance, Static Prison. They have Wasteland. We'll block and take 2. They draw off of Sunbaked Canyon. I go down to 12. I think we just draw for turn here. The Daze. Attack with the Tamio trigger. So now I have a clue token. We'll play Brainstorm. This will transform the Tamio. They'll get to recruit here. Oh, my Forceful is bad here. They have a Voice of Victory. I just realized. And I actually hit Doomsday. What does that mean? Well, I can put back these 2 spell. I mean, I guess additional Tamios don't really help me either. We'll plus the Tamio. And then Dark Ritual Doomsday puts me down to 6. And I don't think they can kill me here. Not without a Goblin Bombardment. So I'll play Doomsday. And I think that this ends up being just a pretty standard Consider pile. You need Thassa's Oracle. Probably want the Edge of Autumn. Unearth. Consider. Do I want to put Street Wraith in the pile? So I'll draw for turn. There will be 4 cards left in deck. I'll play Consider. Mill Thassa's Oracle. That's 3 cards. Draw a card. There's 2 cards left. No, I forgot about the Edge already. So there's 1 card left. I have a Tamio in play, so that's a Blue Devotion. I don't think it really matters here. I guess I'll put a Street Wraith on the bottom. So, Street Wraith on the bottom. Unearth. Thassa's Oracle. Consider Edge of Autumn. And I could even pick up the Edge of Autumn in order to make a mana and get the last card off of the Tamio. None of this really matters. Like, the Tamio trigger here just, like, shuts most of this down. Part of the reason Tamio is so broken is that going wide in Legacy no longer matters. Oh, the Immobilize trigger happens after. Okay, so you do sneak in a little bit of damage. I didn't realize it worked that way. Okay. We'll block the Dale creature. I'll take 2 down to 6. I'm sorry, 2 down to 4. And they just have the Goblin Bombardment? What is this? Blage. This would put me to 1. 1 is not 0. They came up just short here. So we'll make 2 mana. Cycle Edge of Autumn. Consider. Thassa's Oracle to the graveyard. And then I'll downtick on the Tamio to return Edge of Autumn. We'll make a blue. Cycle the Edge of Autumn. Unearth. Return Thassa's Oracle. Nice. Look at us. Making it look easy. This deck is not easy to play, but our games so far have been very favorable. And I think this is a matchup where I want the Borrowgoyfs. I'll take a Snuff out. Fatal Push. I don't want the Dothy, so this is going to be a partial juke situation. We don't need Cavern of Souls. Probably don't want Thoughtseize versus Energy. I'll probably get rid of 1 Lotus Petal. And I have a crazier thought here of what if I just board out Dark Ritual and keep the other Petal? So that way I can accelerate into Borrowgoyf. I think I like this. You could also, like, talk yourself into bringing in Jace Wielder of Mysteries. And I don't think that's, like, crazy. It would have to come at the cost of the 2nd Lotus Petal, though, I think. Or, like, a Bilbo Thief in the Night, which is probably the move here. So we'll shave 1 Bilbo. Alright, on the draw for game 2. I don't love the Lion's Eye Diamond, but I do think that this hand is a keep. They have Turn 1 Plateau. Deafening Silence. Joke's on you! I'm a Borrowgoyf gamer now. We'll play Turn 1 Ponder. I will keep the Force of Will, because I want to be able to protect the Borrowgoyf. Pass the turn. They play a Mountain. That's an Ocelot Pride. We draw the land. I'll play Verdant Catacombs. Play Lotus Petal. Pass the turn. Wasteland, sure. Ajani. That might be a problem for the Borrowgoyf. Am I supposed to counter this? I think I have to. Force of Will. They attack with the Ocelot Pride. Ouch. We will fetch. Grab Undercity Sewers. Do not need another land here. Low State. Honestly, a good draw, but right now we're going to play the Borrowgoyf. Here it is. Boom. Pass. I have to hope that they don't have a removal spell. Another Ajani. Okay, so it looks like they don't have the removal spell, but they do have the ability to flip an Ajani here. We'll play... Actually, let me tap the Underground Sea. Or is that a bad move? I'll leave the Underground Sea untapped in case I have like a Fatal Push here. And I did! Let's go! So I don't want to attack because I don't want them to flip the Ajani and then me not be able to Fatal Push. So I'll just pass here. Another Ajani. Alright, well I am pressured here into Fatal Pushing the existing one. I mean, if I were them I would swing, but they're not doing it for some reason. We'll Fatal Push on the Ajani. And now we'll swing with the Borrowgoyf. Hiya! Come on, hit another Bargoyf. Let's go. We hit another Bargoyf. Play Underground Sea, or fetch Underground Sea, I should say. Bargoyf number 2. Pass. I realized I could have played the Tamiyo off the Lotus Petal. I just don't know if that's a great idea. I guess if I had sacked the Lotus Petal, I could have grown my Bargoyf a little bit bigger pre-combat. We will attack. No blocks. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice the Petal here. We will trigger Bargoyf twice. Did not hit. Bargoyf again. We hit another Bargoyf. Beautiful. We'll play another one. And Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. So I think if I had planned this out better, I would have... Looks like they had a Pyroblast anyway. I would have played Tamiyo pre-combat. And our opponent, I think, is just too far gone at this point. They're not going to be able to come back from triple Bargoyf. Goblin Bombardment. I don't think that's good enough here. They can try all they want. But I have 3 copies of the Abyss in play. We'll move to combat and swing. They throw 3 creatures in front. And now they could sacrifice those creatures and deal me 3. But that just doesn't matter here. So I don't gain any life. And I end up taking 3 damage. We'll play Flow State. They will get to recruit here off of their Queen of the Dale. They discard another copy of it. We'll take Underground Sea, Underground Sea. Play 1. Tamiyo. Looks like they have another Pyroblast. Sure. They play Arid Mesa. They fetch. Elegant Parlor. They get rid of a Containment Priest. They attack with the cat. This means that they can get a cat on the end step, which is fine. We'll go back into the Abyss mode. Swing. And now they'll sacrifice their creatures to deal me 3. I'm at 22. We'll play Thassa's Oracle. You have a 3rd Pyroblast in hand? I don't want either of those, so I'll say no. We'll play our land. Pass the turn. They have another Wasteland. Does not matter here. And they concede the match. We are now 3-0. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 4 on the play. Let's see if we can get another victory here. This is a powerful hand we'll keep. We'll begin with an Undercity Sewers. I don't want Cavern of Souls. We'll get rid of that. Our opponent has Wasteland, unfortunate. Mox Diamond, so they're on lands. Okay. Another Mox Diamond. And a Rumble. Crop Rotation, Caracas, Grove of the Burn Willows. And a Wasteland. Okay. They're going to choose another Wasteland, so I'm going to go grab my basic island here. We drew another Doomsday, which is pretty stinky. So we'll grab the basic, cast Ponder. I think I will keep this. I doubt this Daze is going to be useful, but there's no real benefit to me drawing Verdant Catacombs right now. They play the Wasteland. So we'll fetch for the basic Swamp, and let's try a Thoughtseize. The Crop Rotation, okay. Probably for Urza's Saga here. Ghost Quarter. Their last card in hand is Beseiju. We'll play Tamiyo. Pass the turn. They go after the Swamp. Alright, so no more basic lands in my deck. And their draw step was Life from the Loam. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. That was less than ideal. We'll bring in Force of Negation, Jace Wielder of Mysteries for Disruptor Flute. Not a particularly good Bilbo or Tamiyo matchup. I think Bilbo's probably worse than Tamiyo here. Let's try that again. I don't know if you want Consign to Memories or not. Like, that's something I'm unsure about. And if I did, I would get rid of Tamiyo. I guess I don't need Cavern, so, like, that could be one Consign to Memory. Let's just try this. On the play for game 2. I guess this... Is this... I think you're supposed to keep this, but it doesn't feel particularly good. I'm going to just start off by passing, because this way I can consign to memory a Mox Diamond or something like that. They play a Taiga, Exploration, tough call here. I think I'm actually going to let this go. They're on 4 cards, so I don't know if I see a real benefit. We'll fetch, and then I'll grab my Surveil land. Undercity Sewers, keep the basic, play Thoughtseize, Ghost Quarter, choke. Crop Rotation. I think I'm going to take the choke, play Underground Sea, Ponder. I don't think I hate these. I mean, Flow State's good, but the other two aren't really that great here. Maybe I'm actually supposed to shuffle. We'll put Thoughtseize on the bottom. Okay, I think that's the game plan. Pass the turn. They play the Ghost Quarter, play the island. I think we Dark Ritual Flow State and hope to hit a Doomsday. Nope. They have 2 cards. I think we just take Dazed Thoughtseize, cast the Thoughtseize. The question is, do I Force of Will, pitching Consign to Memory, or Daze? They're on 2 lands right now. I think it's the Consign to Memory. And then Thoughtseize probably looks at a land. Nope, another Exploration. Pass. Baracus. Pass the turn. Pass. They have 1 card. I would love a Brainstorm. Pass. We're going to Ghost Quarter my Underground Sea. I guess we go and grab our basic Swamp. Away from the Loam. Yep. That's annoying. So now I have to draw my out very quickly here. Let's cast Consider. There we go. Brainstorm. Well, I found my out to Life from the Loam, but the rest of it's not particularly good. I don't think I want the Tameo versus Caracas. Pass the turn. Ancient Tomb, Dark Depths. We'll fetch here. Grab an Underground Sea. And then I'm going to cycle the Edge of Autumn. Not a particularly good draw. I will fetch and then we'll hardcast Force of Negation. They play their Taiga, 2 cards in hand. Flow State. A good one. Play it. I guess I messed up by not playing out Lotus Petal. Because I could have hardcast Force of Negation here. Is this for like an Urza Saga? What are you grabbing? Oh, Bazooka Balk. Stage. Okay. Doomsday, Lotus Petal. We'll play Lotus Petal. Black, black, black. Doomsday. We'll do Edge of Autumn. Street Wraith. Actually, I think I want to be able to play around Disruptor Flute if they draw it. Do I actually want the Unearth Pile? I guess if they drew Flute, I have 5 mana. I don't know if any of this actually matters. And we'll just put like another land in there somewhere. So, Underground Sea on the bottom, Jace Wielder of Mysteries, pass the turn. We'll float a blue, cycle Edge of Autumn, cycle Street Wraith, play Lotus Petal, Thassa's Oracle, and their draw step was Pyroblast. That said, I have Force of Negation. Okay, so they are playing Pyroblast, so maybe I do want the Cavern of Souls. I'll get rid of this Consign to Memory that I don't think is particularly strong. We'll try this. Game 3 on the draw, we will keep. They're on 5 cards. Ancient Tomb, Sphere of Resistance. Annoying, but not the end of the world. We'll play land pass. They play a Taiga and a Malevolent Rumble. Play from the Loam Exploration Choke. They chose Choke. We will fetch. Let's grab our basic here. Burning Catacombs. Thassa's Oracle is a terrible draw. Grab our Swamp and we'll play Thoughtseize. Dark Depths, Life from the Loam. We'll take the Choke. Pass the turn. Life from the Loam. It's Blast Zone. The fact that they have Dark Depths already is very bad for me because if they just find Stage, I lose. They get back Wasteland and Blast Zone. They play the Dark Depths. Force of Negation. That could stop 1 Life from the Loam, but they have 2. We'll play Brainstorm. I don't think Tameo's good enough here. I definitely don't want the Oracle. Maybe I am supposed to get rid of the Lotus Petal. We'll play Pluto Delta Pass. They did not dredge. They just drew Stage? What? Oh, wow. I'm speechless. How do you just choose to draw and then hit your out? That is crazy. Oh, I just lost. And then they have Blast Zone in hand already. I don't have any outs here. Because if I play Tameo as a blocker, they just play and activate Blast Zone next turn. I'm just flat dead. Yeah. Sometimes you lose. Unfortunate. We are 3-1.
The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly.
The final round on the play. Keep. We'll play Underground Sea and then cast Thoughtseize, target the opponent. It looks like they're on Izzet Delver. We'll just take their Dragon's Rage Channeler here. Pass. They use Mishra's Bauble. Flooded Strand. They fetch before their Bauble triggers. Play Ponder. I don't want any of these. We'll shuffle. Pass the turn. I want to surveil on the end step to see if I can unlock my 2 copies of Flow State, so that way I can grab 2 cards off of them. They play a Brainstorm, that's fine. They fetch with the Flooded Strand, and now Ponder. They have 6 cards in hand. We're going to fetch, go grab our Undercity Sewers, keep the Ponder. We'll play Thoughtseize. That's a lot of Flow States, holy moly. I guess we take Force of Will, play Ponder. Well, Bilbo, if it lives, is very good, and they got rid of their lightning bolts. Well, the question is, does Bilbo live? Pass the turn. They play Wasteland, Murktide Regent. Things are looking bad. They Wasteland me, so we know that their hand is triple Flow State Daze. We'll fetch. I don't want that basic Swamp on top anymore. Things are not looking good. We'll play Lotus Petal, and I'm going to play the Bilbo. I think if I win this, I'm going to need to get a little lucky, and Bilbo helps me do that. Not being able to unlock the Flow States this game has been problematic. Murktide Regent attacks. This will drop me down to 9. And their Flow States are not unlocked anymore. They only have instant. So they can play a Flow State here for 1 card. And they just pass the turn instead. Brainstorm's great here because it means my Flow States are now unlocked. But I didn't actually hit a fetch land. Ugh. Jeez. Thoughtseize on the bottom. Flow State on top. They drew Lightning Bolt for turn. No way. So I think I lose this because if I play Flow State in a daze right now, we know that our top 2 cards are bad. I don't think I can win this. They drew a land. And now they Flow State. And they swing. Ouch. I will play Flow State. We need to hit like land Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Thoughtseize. We are close. Cycle the Straight Wraith. I need a land here. Nope. Because this gets dazed. So I can cycle Edge of Autumn and hope to hit a land. A land that puts me to 1, so that way I can't Doomsday. Alright, we've lost. But we do get to board into Barrowglyphs here. Or Barrowglyph, however you like to pronounce it. Bring in Snuff out, Fatal Push, Gothy Voidwalkers, get rid of Dark Ritual. I think you board out Lion's Eye Diamond. You don't really want Lotus Petals. Take out the Street Wraith versus Blue-Red. That's 62. I think I'm going to board out Daze. Let's try this. Keep Polluted Delta. We will fetch. Grab a basic island. Cameo Inquisitive Student. Pass the turn. They have a Flooded Strand into Volcanic Island. They Lightning Bolt. We'll play Tameo. Pass the turn. Now they play a Ponder. They did not shuffle. Now they fetch. Another Volcanic Island. Delver of Secrets. We will draw. Go to combat. Swing. We create a clue. Play Polluted Delta. Cast Brainstorm. Put back Cavern of Souls and Undercity Sewers. Tameo transforms. Plus the Tameo. I will fetch. Grab an Underground Sea. Play Ponder. This gives me both instant and sorcery in the graveyard for Flow State. I don't want any of these. We'll shuffle. Fatal Push. I mean, push is good here. It's just, do I want to play into the daze? Probably not. They Brainstorm. They reveal Ponder to Insectile Aberration. And now they attack the Tameo, bringing it down to 2 loyalty. Wasteland. And an Unholy Heat. Do I want to protect the Tameo? I don't think I do. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to try to bait out a daze here with this Fatal Push. Because I have to play Flow State on my turn and I won't have Force backup. So we'll Fatal Push on the Delver. And they let it go. Interesting. We draw Oracle. But if I can't pitch it to Force or else we have to win. I guess I boarded in Barrowglyphs. Speaking of Barrowglyph, we'll take Brainstorm Barrowglyph. Pass the turn. That is a Dragon's Rage Channeler. They play a land. And now they Ponder. Another Force of Will. Let's play Brainstorm. Try to hit a fetch land. Oh no. Oh no. Put Doomsday back. And I think we're just full in on winning with Barrowglyph. So I think this Oracle is now a card I'm going to exile. I just need to hit my lands. They swing for 3. Another Channeler. I think I actually have to force this. We'll exile Oracle. They have 3 cards in hand. They fetch with Scalding Tarn. And now a Flow State. Let them surveil. They get rid of a Pyroblast. I'm going to let this go. They play land number 4. They fetch. Another channeler. So I could try to force here. I think I have to. They have 2 cards, and they force will back Exiling Days. So my top card is a Flow State, and underneath that is Doomsday. I am at 12, which is problematic because I actually need to find a Fatal Push here or else I'm dead. This is terrible. I just got stuck on mana this game. So I could draw Fatal Push here or like brainstorm into something good. A land doesn't do it because I can't. They have 6 in the air. So a land wouldn't save me. They drew Murktide Region? It looks like it. Wow. Yeah, they got me. Alright, so we lose to Izzet Delver. So we started off hot with a 3-0 start and then lost the last 2 to lands and Izzet Delver. But lost to lands is a heartbreaker because I think there's a real world in which I win that game 3 if my opponent doesn't draw a Thespian Stage, but Magic is random and sometimes you just lose and that happens. Game 3 or round 5, my opponent drew fairly well, and I mean I had some okay draws, but ultimately we weren't able to cast our spells. So that was kind of problematic for me. I don't know if I have any real opinions on that other than the fact I just lost, and sometimes that happens. So I think I would play this deck list again in the future. Is it the best Doomsday deck list? I don't know. I'm not a Doomsday expert. I'm just a guy who enjoys casting combo spells. But it seemed pretty solid to me. Bilbo, Thief in the Night is a really, really broken card. I liked the Unearth Consider to get around Disruptor Flute. Cameo and Flow State and Bilbo in the same deck is disgusting. It's just, I didn't convert into more wins. Maybe a better player would have, but I did not. So that's all I've got for today. Let me know what you think of Bilbo in Doomsday. I'd be interested in your feedback. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you're looking to further support us, click that join button down below, where in our $10 tier, you get early access to all videos on top of the Legacy the Epic Storm Cyborg Guide. But to further your value, join that Stormtrooper tier where I work on decks each and every day with the community. It's a great value add. I'd highly recommend checking that out.